All right. All right, let's give him a big hand. Ooh, that's instructor Cho. All right, instructor Cho. Cho. So it might take time, all right? It might take time. It might be longer or it might be shorter. It's just matter of the wood, all right? We're using wood to burn, okay? If the woods get too wet, it will take a lot of time to just try to ignite.
Sa-simulate po tayo ng fire. So, ganito ang mangyayari. Once na nagkaroon ng sunog, yung box, it represents your room. Represents your room.
So as you guys can see, the smoke layer now is still high. This is the fire behavior. You all know the fire behavior. What stage is this one?
Incipient, initial
stage.
First stage, right? It's just started to burn, right? It just started to ignite. So the smoke, do you know what smoke layer is? There's a line, it's like a visible but invisible line between the smoke and the fire. All right, that's what we call the smoke layer. When the smoke layer get high, it means, two reasons it means you're still in a non-life danger situation, and also you're a little bit too far away from the fire or the ignition point. But what happens if the smoke layer get really low?
Deadly.
It means fire is big. It means you're near the fire. It means it might be flash, right? It might be flash. So what are the difference between flashover and backdraft? I know backdraft is a movie. That's not the answer. What's flashover?
The fire is uncontrollable.
What's flashover? All right, so, yep, so it's suddenly ignition, everything in the room ignites at one time, all right? It's quick, it's at one time, but it doesn't have an explosion, all right? It doesn't have an explosion. It just means it is too hot. It reached the flash point. It reached a flash point. Everything in the room, it reached its ignition point, all right? And how about backdraft? What is backdraft? Let me ask you this. What does it need? Oxygen, good. All right, we all see the movie before, right? Or from your fire behavior class.
There's a lack of oxygen.
They suck in the smoke. All right, when you are in a burning building and when you are looking at one building's window, you feel, you see the smoke. It's kind of like it push out, but then it suck back in. It push out and suck back in. It means it's gonna flash over or backdraft, which one? It's gonna explode soon, all right? That's what we call a backdraft, in an easy term to explain, all right?
Ginunitan ng Bureau of Fire Protection.
Sorry.
So what we're gonna do first is we control the opening. Do you guys know what is control the opening? Have you guys heard it before? When you get to the fire scenes, do not try to open the doors. Do not try to break out every windows. What's the reason of that? It put in a lot of energy. Lots of oxygen in it, and you will actually make fire grow bigger or smaller. Bigger, right? So what we're gonna do is we control the airflow. Actually, we are controlling the airflow. So if you have TIG, you can see the difference between the temperature when you control the airflow path or if you're not controlling the airflow path. So now we just open a little bit with the tick. Can you guys see it?
Sep. Sep. TikTok. Ano ba? Ang alinaw. TikTok.
All right, so like I said, the opening. All right, the opening. If you open too wide, too high, and if you break out each window, the oxygen goes into the building, goes into the simulator. It makes fire grow bigger, and your smoke is actually gonna be more dense or less dense. If it gets too hot, the smoke is gonna be thick or thin. Thick, right? Well, actually thick, all right, because your fire getting bigger, all right? Your fire is getting bigger. So you all know the smoke we're breaking it now. The smoke we're producing now is actually flammable, right? It's actually flammable, but however, the temperature is not high enough yet. It's not high enough yet. All right. So you can see the smoke. You can judge. You can describe the smoke or the fire condition by its color, right? By the smoke color, right? So what we're doing now is, so if you see a really black, thick smoke, what do you guessing is happening inside the burning building?
Incomplete combustion.
Yep, it's combustion. Like basically, it tells you fire is big, right? But does it matter with the material inside of it? For example, if you are burning a tire, what color of smoke is coming out? It's black, right? And it's toxic. All right. So when you get on the scene, when all of you get on the scene, try to figure out what's burning inside of it. All right. What happens if the smoke is brown, like brownish? What is it burning? Most likely it's burning wood, kind of wood stuff, right? And how about the gray smoke? It means it's not fully burning it, all right? In the fire behavior, that picture is still in the stage 1 or stage 2. All right? Right. All right, so now you can see as we heat up the simulator, as the temperature getting higher, you can actually see the smoke flow from the beginning, right? From the beginning to now, the smoke flow is actually flows quicker. It flows faster, right? All right, and in this stage, can you guys see the difference? Besides what we said about the speed of the smoke flow, it's getting faster. What else? Thinner, right? And how about the smoke color? All right, so another advantage of TIC, all right, is just outside the topic. You can actually see the smoke. All right, inside the building, you can probably see it, but it's hard, right? When you're inside a burning building 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you know, try to recall that scenes. Can you guys really see the smoke flowing inside the building? If it's pitch black and it's full of smoke, can you guys actually see how fast or how slow the smoke's flowing? That's why we need TIC, all right, thermal image camera. As you can see, if the smoke is getting faster, it means what? The temperature is high or low? High, right? So we are now to try to heat up more, all right? Try to heat up. So the people who has TIC, you can actually see from the side, from either this side or that side, you can actually see the smoke pushing out. So these smoke are hot, all right? Basic knowledge, these smoke are hot. It's not gonna be the cold smoke, right?
这一段可以说热现象有误判，它现在只有60度，可是其实这样本来是60度。
Okay. So another topic of the TIC, the temperature shown on your thermal image camera, is this the absolute temperature number or is just the reference? It's just a reference, right? So for example, now is about 65 Celsius. Do you think inside of the box is only 65 Celsius? It's way higher than that, right? So the temperature on your TIC, is only for reference. Alright, it's only for reference.
Magulang ka. Yan pa style ko ah. Bigat ba?
Alright, so people, can you see it like the front piece of wood? The front piece of wood, you'll see it later. It's getting smoked up a little bit, and later what is going to happen? It didn't touch the fire, but what is going to happen? It burns, right? So this is called a heat. This is actually called a heat radiation transfer. All right, it's actually called a heat radiation transfer, and it reached this fluid or this material's ignition point, and then you will start to ignite. Sorry. So I saw a lot of videos on YouTube about how you guys fire. You guys do a lot of defensive firefighting, right? Which what I meant defensive firefighting, it means you're shooting water from the outside. Yes. All right, you're shooting water on the outside. And on the other hand, it's called offensive. Offensive, which means you go in there and get the job done, right? So what Instructor Cho gonna do is he's gonna do what we call a penciling. Penciling means you're not shooting a lot of water in there, but you're shooting just small amounts of water. It can actually reduce the heat a lot. All right. All right. So if you can see the smoke color, what color is it? It's getting brown yellowish, right? It means you cannot go in there. All right. Because the temperature is going to reach the flash points, right? Oh. For the one you see the TIC, what's the temperature reading now?
181. 61.
再做一次涉水，你可以想写这个门，就是热少的时候不是有一个门框吗？
对。好。So what we're going to do is, we don't know, not trying to open the window too quickly or the door quickly, right? So what he's going to do is he shoot out the water just on the door frame before you get in there. If you see the thick yellowish smoke, all right, you try to put a little bit of water around the door frame, Just what I did.
那个火源出来了，发亮火源。
烧全面可以。你要做把它降温，做到有烟，再让你做电放。
好。So what instructor is doing now is he's gonna reduce the heat a little bit because if I too fast, I speak too slow. I speak too slow, and it's going to fully evolve right now. So we try to put it down a little bit. We try to cool down a little bit. All right. So you see again, the smoke color is getting dense and yellowish, right? So, do you see the color of the smoke change? This is what we call a smoke reading. Alright, you read the smoke. Alright, do you see it from yellowish color, yellow brownish color back to white? Alright, back to white color. So what we'll do is what we call the penciling the ceiling, right? I don't know, have you guys heard of the penciling the ceiling? You put a little bit of water towards the ceiling. You are not directly towards the fire. Why is that? If you put if you put the water directly towards the fire, what is going to make? When you use teapots to boil water, what does it come out from the little hole? Steam, right? And the steam burn. Steam is actually the one that's gonna burn a lot worse than the fire. Alright, so that's why we are not putting the water on the fire when we get to the scene, because it's going to steam the people inside, either one of your brother, sister, or one of the survivor. Alright, so we use a little bit of water to put on the ceiling. That's what we call the penciling. Alright, in the fire terminology, it's called pencil. Like the pencil you're writing, penciling. Alright, penciling. Okay. So, like I said, it's fully involved, so you cannot actually see where's the ignition points because everything is kind of burning in there. You have to take. So if you can see that small screen, alright, it's actually fully involved right now. And instructor put a little bit of water. Alright, so if you guys can see, so if you see the wood in front of it, it's actually burning, right? So that's what we call the heat radiative. So heat radiative is actually one of the things that kills firefighter a lot, because you go in there, you're trying to put out the fire, but you didn't really care about your exit points, your extrication points. And then, for example, you went into the kitchen, you go into you go into the living room, and the ignition points, the fire is at the Christmas tree next to the fireplace. Alright, you try to put it out. But what happens if the radiation heat burn the sofa behind you? All right, that's what it happened called a heat radiative. Alright, so the temperature inside of it is actually 500 Celsius. If you guys can see, the smoke is turning.
Smoke blowing.
What color? White, right? Peach white. Peach white. Alright, and the smoke flowing is actually fast and dense, right? So, I don't know if you guys can see or not, but actually the fire just full of smoke to shoot out. But like I said, this is just a small simulator, all right? When we get to the big flashover box tomorrow, flashover simulator, you're actually gonna feel it, all right, tomorrow. So this is just like an appetizer for you guys, all right? All right, so do you guys have TIG in your department?
Yes.
TIG? You should have one TIG on every apparatus. No. But you should have, right? Because TIG, you all know TIG is something you can search for the ignition point, search for fire. You can also search for the survivor, right? Survivor. And also, if you encounter a down firefighter situation, you can use it to search that down firefighter. Alright?
So, may mga in-issue dati. Meron.
Alright, so if you want to see the side, I don't know if you guys can see it on the side too, but if you guys can see the two different color, like right above it is white, but down below is yellow brownish, right?
在外面的时候原本，它在外面的时候这个 back 进去。
So, like I said, like when you're trying to read the smoke, if you see this situation, you're not supposed to get in there, right? You're not supposed to go in there.
Under control na, maubos na eh.
So we were trying to do the backdraft, but actually the wood is not good. All right, the wood is way too dry, so it doesn't have any moist in it. Alright, so the material you choose to make the simulator is actually the important elements as well. All right, and also when you go to the not a burning center, when you go into the burning building, that building is made of what is actually important as well. So for example, the trust, the burn, what kind of smoke is going to push out? Alright, she said this, if you go into the burning building in the tropical forest, it's really humid and moist, right?
Yeah.
So the fire will actually try to burn out the water inside the wood. Alright, if you go into a little cottage. Alright, so it's actually safer to put out the fire in the tropical forest. What happens if you go into the desert and there's a little wood cottage in the desert? The wood is really dry, right? It will produce a lot of conditions like that, alright? Which you will get the brown yellowish smoke. So if you look at from the outside, that's one of the advantage of having TIG is you can actually see where the fire is in the building. So as your officer all arriving on scene, use your TIG to try to scan where the fire is majority happen in that building. Alright? There's a lot of your building in Philippines made of concrete. Alright. Alright, so the flashover and back. Fine. Yeah. Right, so I said before the penciling. What is the big purpose of doing the penciling? Are you trying to put out fire? No, you're trying to cool down the fire, right? You actually make it the area safer, right, compared to next to the fire, right? So how you do the penciling? You actually just do the short fall, right? You guys using a smooth bore or automatic nozzle in the Philippines? Do you guys know which nozzle you guys using? You can turn, right? Okay, alright. Okay, so okay, wonderful. Alright. So when you turn into short fog, alright, short fog, it's not fog, alright, it's not fully fog. You'll know the flow pattern. Sorry, not the flow pattern. The water flow pattern has 3 steps, alright? 3 different kinds. When you turn all the way to the left, what it creates? Fog or straight? When you turn your nozzle to the left, fog, right? When you turn it all the way, that's what we call the full fog pattern. Full fog pattern. If you turn it all the way to the right, what does it create? Straight. Alright, that's why we call it straight. Alright, so what I meant by short fog is you can still shoot up to the ceiling. It's not straight, it's not totally fog, but it still creates a lot of water flow. Alright, so it's about 3/4 turn it to the right, to the left hand side. Alright, and you aim it towards the ceiling. Alright, you aim it towards the ceiling and you pencil it. Just try to cool down the room temperature. Alright, so the room temperature was 500 Celsius, but by doing the penciling, doing 3 times, 3 times, 3 times, you will actually bring it down to about 150, 100, 150, 200. Alright, so you bring down the temperature, it means it's safer or more dangerous. Which one? Safer, right? If you bring the room temperature down to 150, which is you can bearable, you create a much safer area compared to 500 Celsius, right? Also, you can see the smoke layer will actually push up or push down. Try to think about it. The smoke layer, the lower the smoke layer is, the more dangerous it gets. So, if you create a safer zone, the smoke layer is going to go up or go down. It's going to go up, right?
Yes.
So that's why we start pushing penciling the building instead of just dragging a line going there and put out fire. We do penciling on the way you go into the fire point, or the ignition point. So when you go in there, you do a penciling, you cool down the space, you cool it down the space. You're not putting out the fire yet, but you're cooling down the space. And as you walk in there, you are create many safer zones, alright, on the way into the burning point. Okay?
其实可以很多啦，就是那个开口，先是开口讲，这开口一开始。开口讲，不然你要讲吗？看，他这都有讲。我们放的时候再加一点。 就报了，还可以再做。要做吗？就做就对了。确定要做再做。
All right, so questions with this small questions? No questions? All right, so it's been a really long day and try to give you guys a break a little bit faster so you guys can get back to your zone and take shower and I don't know what you guys gonna do. All right, drink or something. I don't know.
All right.
It's up to you guys. All right.
Like that, like a style.
Tomorrow, let's see. What time tomorrow?
Can we make some announcement? Yeah, because